Hey guys, so I'm looking at a parts guitar that's on my bench today. It's got a neck on it that looks like it's in pretty rough shape. To me it looks like it's twisted. It kind of shoots uphill like this direction. It's twisted. And when you get back here on the back side of the guitar, you can see it's got a big giant Charvel plate on there. But you can see whoever had this guitar before has sanded it down to make it fit in there, to bring it to the right level. It looks like it does have some quality components in the guitar. The claw is installed kind of off to the right. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to try to do to fix this thing up. Because I get these Partscasters and they get traded in, I do my best to try to make something nice out of them, at least to get to the point where I can try to sell it. And I think with this neck on here, it's not going to sell. I see it does have the Jackson pickups in it, and a lot of guys will like that. And the body needs cleaned up, but it has sort of a transparent tiger stripe, sort of probably a veneer on top of it. And there's also a Wilkinson bridge. So it's a parts guitar that maybe needs some other parts on there to get it looking better. So step one, let me pull the strings off of it. Let me pull the neck off of it. And as you guys can see, do you see how it kind of just shoots off to the right? It kind of goes this direction and then just wah. But let me pull the strings, let me pull the neck. Maybe we can fix this thing up a little bit. Alright, so got a really nice Ernie Ball string winder. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen these strings. Feels like nice tuners on this thing. So no name, but they feel quality. But I'm going to lift this bar out of here. Not going to be needing this any longer. And I save parts, you know. Don't throw those old guitars away, guys. Everybody knows it. You save stuff like that. But I'm going to just cut the strings. Sometimes you can tell yourself, save the strings, but then you put them on something else and they just end up breaking or whatever. So you just got to get rid of them. It hurts sometimes because you are, you know, trying to save some money, trying to save a buck. But in the long run, it's not worth it. Get these babies out of here. Alright, let's get this neck off of here. Just going to use my drill. This plate is so thick. This Charvel plate. Look how thick that thing is. Super cool. I'm keeping that. And so there it is. It just comes right out of here. But yeah, you can see the previous owner shaved that down so that it would fit in there and be at the right string height and everything. And I mean, it was a playable guitar, but it's hard to sell something when the customer sees that. It's almost impossible. So I have to do what I can do to make this right, as close as I can get it. Now I'm supposing that my next step is to, if we look at here at that claw, do you see how it's way over to the right side? I probably should work on that and see if I can center that and bring that back to where it belongs. This might be tricky, but I'm up for the challenge. Let's see what happens. We're just going to see what happens when I've seen these screws break. Depending on what kind of wood your body is made out of, sometimes these are difficult to get a good spot to put these in. It's tricky. And there's other holes in there, and I'm wondering if I can just move them over to the hole off to the left a little bit. That would be the easiest plan. But the guy that traded this in, he's no dummy, so for some reason he re-drilled these holes or something. Maybe these other ones are stripped out. I have no way of knowing until I get in here and give it my best try and see what happens. So let's see now. Move that one back a little bit. And let's see if it'll go into there. Yeah, this is tough to get these to go back to where they belong. These screws get bent. All kinds of crazy things happen. And they start to get stripped out. You can see how bent that is. But you know what? I think I'm going to maybe just leave that. Right about there. And tighten it a little bit more if I can. Yeah, these babies get hard to tighten in there. You know, right there. That's not bad. We'll leave that right there. Okay, so this is the neck that I have laying around. And it's just one of those made in China hockey stick necks. But it looks nice and straight. I think it should be playable if it fits in the pocket here. Seems like it fits nicely in the pocket. If I can find another neck plate, I'll use these same screws, and we'll have to possibly re-drill some of these. That was on an Ibanez style, so this stuff's going to need to be re-drilled. Let me look for a neck plate. Alright, so I set a little polishing cloth underneath there to try to, you know, hold that in place a little bit better. And these are my choices for random neck plates that I had laying around. So I have a black one here, I have a gold one, and I have one of those counterfeit Fender Corona California ones. I think in this case the black one is our best bet. I look at it right here and it looks like it sets there pretty nicely. So I think that one is our best bet. So now what I'm going to try to do is run one of these bottom screws in here and see if I can just, if it'll kind of set it in place, and then I'm going to have to drill these. The chances that the hole is going to line up perfectly is slim, but you never know what's going to happen. So yeah, I feel it lifting off there right now, so it's close, but it's off to the side. So let's go to plan B. Re-drill them all. Okay, looking good so far. Okay, well, that seems like it went on nicely. Feels nice and secure and everything. It looks nice and at the right angle. Everything about it is looking good so far. So, you know, I'm not going to have a back plate. I might try to cut something. But yeah, you can see this body never had a dust cover. There's no screw holes here already. This is some sort of a body from Stratosphere or one of those guitar brands, you know, that makes bodies. So it's looking pretty good so far. I'm happy with how that neck went on. Let's see what else we can do to this thing. Keep it going. Alright, so we were digging through this box of random pickguards and stuff, and I didn't think I had anything, and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to try to cut something, and Neil comes over here and he pulls one out and he goes, well, hey man, how about that one? So we found a back cover for that, so super lucky. Alright, so I'm going through all these back plates, and I think this is maybe the closest one I have. It is all scratched up. I don't know, I'm having a tough time finding a back plate.
That one works. You must suck.
Wow!
You must suck at Tetris, man. Yeah.
All night.
Yeah.
I got a little pedal board for that orange amplifier. A little
Yeah.
and a little Kaleen reverb pedal.
Okay guys, I'm going to throw some strings, super slinky, 9 through 42s on it. I hope it's ready for strings. I think it is. Kind of gone through and everything seems to be like ready, so we'll see what happens here. When you change necks, sometimes they just don't fit right. And maybe the scale length is off or something. But right now we're going to just put some strings on it and see what happens. Okay, so I have it all string up and tuning it up. And I noticed right here that I think the nut is kind of cut a little too small. It's too short on the low E string and the A string. So I'm going to do the old baking soda super glue trick. And so I can get a little bit of something in here so I can refile those down and try to bring the height up on that nut right there. So let me show you how I do this. Okay, so this should be easy enough. What I do is get your baking soda and you just lay some in there. There you go. I have just some on a file. There you go. So you see how I have some laying in there, right? Just baking soda. Kind of get a little bit of that out of the way there. Okay, so I'm trying to just shove a guitar string down in the end of this super glue bottle to unclog it because it was coming out everywhere except where I wanted it to come out. So let's see now if that's going to work. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now let's let that dry for a few seconds, a few minutes, and then we'll try to file it down and get it going. Okay, so let me get my files. Let me show you what I got. So I have this set of fret files from Music Nomad. And there's one in here that is a 36. and a 28. 17, they're all the different sizes. Okay, here's 46. This is what I want for the low E string. So I'm just going to set this in here. And just try to file a new groove for that E string. I don't want to go too deep, or we'll kind of end up right where we started from. I got a lot of super glue on my fingers. Alright, well that's a little bit better, though some of this string spacing on this nut looks a little bit weird. I probably should just change that out. But the baking soda super glue trick, it is a good temporary fix. But honestly, that whole nut probably should just be changed out. Alright, so not a noodling, but there it is. It's just a Partscaster, and it's kind of cool because I had parts laying around where I could take something that just wasn't something that I was able to sell, and I think I might be able to get $100 or $150 out of this thing nowadays. So pretty cool. It worked out great. I gotta look for a bar that fits down in this Wilkinson bridge, but yeah, I'm kind of happy with it. And a lot of times, sometimes these Partscasters, I will just leave them behind the counter here, and I'll sit and play them, and I'll learn new songs and things like that. You spend time with the guitar, you'll intonate it, and again, that nut is a little problematic, but I think I can get that thing to be alright. Yeah, it feels pretty good. It's a Partscaster. It's got Jackson pickups in it. It's got one of those Chinese hockey stick headstock necks on there. But it turned out good. A lot of times you'll start working on these kind of little projects, Partscaster projects, and you'll end up where something about it just doesn't work right, it doesn't play right. But this one turned out really cool. So, yeah, don't throw your old parts away because eventually you might need some of them. And I built myself a fun little Partscaster. Thank you guys for watching. Everybody have a great day.